Imagine, time stops, not slows, not stretches, stops completely. You are floating somewhere between the Earth and the Moon, suspended in the black between two worlds, and the universe simply ceases to move. The light that was reaching your eyes stops mid-journey. The breath you were drawing in pauses at the back of your throat, neither inhaled nor exhaled. The photons from a billion distant stars, all of them racing toward you at 300,000 kilometers per second, stand still in the dark. And yet, you are aware. You can still see. You can still think. The space around you is still there. An ocean of distance stretching in every direction, vast and silent, and absolutely real. The moon hangs ahead of you. The Earth drifts behind. The stars are scattered like frozen sparks across an infinite canvas. Nothing moves, nothing changes, but everything exists. And that's the question that should quietly unsettle you. If time has stopped completely, why does space still seem to be here? If nothing can change, nothing can happen, nothing can evolve, then how is it possible that you are still somehow inside something? How does space survive without time? How does anything survive without time? Take a breath, or try to, because where we're going next doesn't have a map. To understand what you're experiencing in that frozen darkness between worlds, we have to go back, not in time, because time has stopped, but in understanding. We have to ask a question that sounds simple, but isn't. What is time, actually? Not what does a clock measure? Not what philosophers debate. What is time in the physical fabric of the universe? For most of human history, we assumed time was a constant, a river flowing at the same rate for everyone, everywhere. A universal heartbeat that kept the cosmos in rhythm. Then Albert Einstein arrived, and very quietly, very gently, he dismantled that idea completely. Einstein showed us that time is not a river. It is not a constant. It is not a background against which things happen. Time is a dimension, a fabric, a structure woven together with the three dimensions of space into something called spacetime, a single, unified, four-dimensional reality. In Einstein's universe, space and time are not separate. They are two expressions of the same thing. Space is where, time is when. And together, they are the stage on which everything in the universe performs. Here is what that means for us, floating in our frozen moment. In space-time, you do not move through space and time as if they were two different roads. You move through space-time as a whole. Your journey through time and your journey through space are the same journey. A photon traveling at the speed of light uses all of its space-time motion for space and none of it for time, which is why photons experience no time at all. A rock sitting perfectly still in space uses all of its space-time motion for time, which is why it ages even when it doesn't move. Everything that exists is always moving through space-time at the same fundamental rate. The universe doesn't give you a choice about whether to move. It only gives you a choice about direction. So what happens when time, one of those two inseparable dimensions, simply stops? Here is where the quiet becomes unsettling. If time stops, then in Einstein's framework, you have done something geometrically impossible. You have removed one of the four dimensions of the universe, not paused it, not slowed it, removed it. And what is left, this three-dimensional space you seem to be floating in, is like a shadow on the wall with no object to cast it. In modern physics, space and time are not simply related. They are interdependent. One cannot fully exist without the other, because together they form a single mathematical object, the space-time manifold. Remove time from the manifold, and you don't get frozen space. You get something physics doesn't have a word for. You get geometric incompleteness, a surface with no depth, a road with no direction, a location with no when. Think about it this way. Every event in the universe, every particle collision, every heartbeat, every photon striking a retina is not just a point in space. It is a point in space-time. It has an X, a Y, a Z, and a T. Take away TT and events don't freeze in place. Events don't exist. Without the time coordinate, there is no event. There is no where the photon is right now, because right now is a statement about time. Without time, now is a concept with nothing to stand on. And yet, you are here, suspended, aware. The Earth hangs behind you. The moon floats ahead. The stars are everywhere. How? Let's talk about something even stranger. You are looking at the stars. Right now, in this frozen moment, you are looking at distant suns suspended in the dark. Ancient light caught mid-travel between their source and your eyes. But light is not a passive thing. Light is a physical process. Photons travel. They move through space over time. The photon that enters your eye must have traveled from its source. That travel takes time. In a universe where time has stopped, photons cannot travel. And if photons cannot travel, they cannot reach your eyes. And if they cannot reach your eyes, you cannot see. You should be in complete and perfect darkness. Not a comforting dark, not a gentle dark, an absolute, total physics-mandated blindness. But you can see the stars, you can see the earth, you can see your own hands if you hold them in front of your face, illuminated by nothing, visible to no one, and yet visible. There is something about your awareness that exists outside the laws as we understand them. This is not science fiction. This is the paradox at the heart of the thought experiment. Consciousness, the ability to experience, to observe, to be inside a moment, is perhaps the most mysterious thing in the known universe. And right now, floating between worlds in a universe where time no longer operates, consciousness has become the only thing that still seems to work. Your awareness is the last candle in a universe where all the other flames have gone out. The question is, what is it burning on? Let us, for a moment, accept the impossible. Let us say that you are genuinely here, aware, perceiving, experiencing, in a universe where time has flatlined. What exactly are you floating in? Space by itself is extraordinary. We tend to think of space as emptiness, the absence of things, the nothing between the things. But that understanding, it's outdated. In modern physics, space is not nothing. Space is something. Space has structure. It can curve, it can expand, it can vibrate. It can store energy in what physicists call the quantum vacuum, a seething, restless substrate of potential that fills every cubic centimeter of the universe. Space is more like a medium than an absence, more like water than air, more like a fabric than a void. But here is what that fabric requires in order to be a fabric. It requires time. The quantum vacuum fluctuations, those tiny momentary particles that pop in and out of existence, even in empty space, require time to fluctuate. The curvature of space-time caused by mass requires the four-dimensional geometry of space-time to have meaning. Even the expansion of the universe, that slow breath outward that carries galaxies apart from one another, is meaningless without time. Because expansion is a change in distance over time, and without time, nothing changes. So what is left? If you stripped time from the universe, space would not be a frozen ocean. It would be something closer to a snapshot, a photograph of a moment that never was and can never be processed. An image with no camera to have taken it, a dream with no mind to have dreamed it. And you are floating in the middle of it, aware, breathing in physics that shouldn't allow you to breathe at all. Now let's step back from the edge of the impossible for a moment. Because physics has thought about this, not in exactly these terms, not what happens if time stops as a literal event, but in ways that get very close. The first thing to understand is that in relativity, there is a theoretical limit where time essentially does stop for a specific type of observer. That observer is a photon. A photon, a particle of light, travels at the speed of light. And as Einstein showed, time slows for objects moving faster. A clock on a fast-moving spacecraft ticks slower than one on Earth. A clock on a spacecraft moving at the speed of light would not tick at all. For a photon, the journey from the surface of the sun to the surface of your eye, a journey of 8 minutes at the speed of light, takes exactly 0 subjective time. The photon does not experience the crossing. It is not born on the sun and then travel for 8 minutes and then arrive at your eye. From the photon's perspective, if we can even speak of perspective, it is simultaneously at the sun and at your eye. Its existence is a single, instantaneous event stretched across 150 million kilometers. So in some sense, the photon exists in a reality where time has stopped. Space is still there. The 150 million kilometers are physically real. But time, for the photon, is absent. And the photon does not seem to be confused by this. It does not question how space can exist without time. It simply is. The universe, perhaps, has its own way of resolving the paradox that our consciousness cannot. Maybe the resolution is not logic. Maybe it is simply existence. Stay with me here, because this is where things become genuinely strange. In the frozen universe between worlds, you are experiencing something. You have a sense of now. Right now, you are here. The stars are here. The Earth is behind you. The moon is ahead. And this moment, this exact configuration of space and perception, feels like the present. But now is a concept that physics finds deeply uncomfortable. In special relativity, now is not a universal thing. Two observers moving at different velocities through space will disagree about which events are simultaneous. What is now for you might be in the past or future for someone moving relative to you. There is no universal now. There is only now for you, a personal slice of space-time defined by your position and your velocity. In a universe where time has stopped, you no longer have a velocity. Nothing does. And without motion, without change, without the flow from one moment to the next, now becomes all there is. Not a moment in time, not a point on the timeline, just a state, a single eternal configuration of space locked in place. And here is what that implies. If there is no past moment and no future moment, if now is the only thing that exists, then now loses its meaning. Because now only means something in contrast to then. The present only feels like the present because there is a past that it is not, and a future that it is not yet. Take those away, and now is not a moment. Now is everything. Now is nothing. And you are floating inside it, perfectly, impossibly aware. Here is something that might surprise you. You have experienced something like this before. Not the vast frozen universe, not the floating between worlds, but the strange, borderless quality of a moment where time seems to lose its grip. You know the feeling, those rare, particular instants where the normal flow of experience dissolves. It happens in the deepest stages of dreamless sleep, when consciousness dims to something so quiet that there is no sense of duration, no sense of time passing. You close your eyes, and then you open them, and hours have vanished into nothing. Not like time that was lived and forgotten, but like time that simply did not happen for you. It happens in moments of profound shock or awe. The instant you see something so vast, so overwhelming, that your usual sense of before and after simply stops functioning. Witnesses of total solar eclipses often report this. A strange, disorienting sense that the moment is endless, that the eclipse lasts both a second and an eternity. It happens, and this is perhaps the closest analogy, in certain deep meditative states where practitioners describe the dissolution of the sense of duration. Not time slowing, not time speeding, time becoming irrelevant. Only awareness, only existence. In each of these experiences, space remains. Even in the most time-free moments humans have described, there is still a somewhere. There is still a here. There is still the felt sense of being inside something, surrounded by something, extended through something. We cannot seem to let go of space, even when we lose time, which suggests something extraordinary. Space and time, despite their mathematical inseparability in physics, may not be equally fundamental to experience. Time may be something the mind constructs moment by moment from the raw material of existence. Space may be something deeper, something more primal, something closer to the ground floor of what it means to be real. Or perhaps consciousness itself is the deepest layer of all, and everything else, space, time, matter, light, is simply what consciousness looks like from the outside. There is a view in physics that, once you encounter it, you cannot quite unencounter. It is called the block universe, and it may be the closest physics has come to explaining what you are experiencing in your frozen moment between worlds. The block universe is a consequence of Einstein's relativity, because simultaneity is relative, because different observers disagree about which events are happening at the same time. Many physicists have concluded that there is no objective flow of time. There is no universal now marching forward through the universe, turning future into present and present into past. Instead, past, present and future all exist equally. The entire history of the universe, from the first fraction of the first second after the Big Bang to the last cold photon fading in the dark billions of years from now, is laid out like a four-dimensional landscape. Physicists call it the block because it is like a solid block of space-time, extended across all four dimensions, existing all at once, with no privileged now. Your experience of time flowing is, in this view, not a property of the universe. It is a property of you. Your consciousness moves through the block, experiencing one slice after another, constructing the sensation of flow from an underlying reality that does not flow at all. If this is true, and many serious physicists believe it is, then what you are experiencing in your frozen universe is not an impossibility. It is a revelation. You have somehow stepped outside the flow. You are no longer moving through the block. You are simply in the block, surrounded by space-time that exists all at once, without direction, without sequence, without the arrow of time that your biology usually imposes on experience. And the space you see around you, the stars, the moon, the earth, the black between worlds, is not frozen. It is always. It was always, always. It will always, always be. The freeze is not a stopping, it is a seeing. There is a question that physicists and philosophers have circled around for over a century and never quite answered. Does the universe exist if there is no one to observe it? In classical physics, the answer is obvious. Of course it does. The universe was here for billions of years before any eyes evolved to look at it. Trees fell in forests before there were ears to hear the falling. But quantum mechanics, the physics of the very small, introduced an unsettling possibility. In quantum mechanics, the state of a particle is genuinely undefined until it is measured. Not unknown, not just uncertain, undefined. An electron orbiting an atom does not have a definite position until something interacts with it in a way that forces it to commit to a position. Before that interaction, it exists in a superposition, a smear of probability across all possible positions simultaneously. And here is where the observer enters. Some interpretations of quantum mechanics suggest that observation, or more precisely interaction with a measuring system, is what collapses possibility into actuality. The universe, in this view, is not simply a stage that performs whether or not anyone watches. The universe is a collaborative act between matter and observation, reality and witness, physics and mind. So here, floating in your frozen moment, where time has stopped and space persists, and you are the only thing still aware. Perhaps you are not just observing the universe. Perhaps you are, in some small and extraordinary way, the reason it is still there. Perhaps awareness is not just a byproduct of physical processes. Perhaps awareness is the substrate that physical processes are expressions of. Perhaps when everything else stops, when matter freezes and light halts and time flatlines, awareness remains. Not because it is separate from the universe, but because it is the universe's way of knowing itself. And you, here, between worlds, in the dark, you are that knowing. So what would it take, in this frozen place, for time to begin again? Think about what time actually requires. Change. Time, at its most fundamental level, is the possibility of change. The fact that systems can evolve from one state to another, that particles can move, that energy can transfer, that events can follow other events. If nothing can change, if the universe is perfectly, completely static, then time is not merely stopped. Time has nothing to be. For time to return to your frozen universe, something would have to move first. But for something to move, time must already be flowing, because motion is change in position over time. This is the deepest version of the paradox. Time and change require each other. Neither can restart the other. Neither can be the first cause. Which means that a universe where time has genuinely stopped cannot restart itself. It has no mechanism for resumption. It has no inside from which to begin again. A universe without time is not a paused universe. It is a sealed one. And yet, here you are, feeling as though something is suspended rather than ended. Feeling as though the stars are waiting rather than simply being. That feeling, that sense of imminence, of a breath about to be taken, that is time. That is your consciousness importing the idea of sequence into a place where sequence does not exist. You are bringing time with you. You cannot help it. You are a biological creature sculpted by billions of years of evolution in a universe where time flows forward, always forward. Every cell in your body is a clock. Every thought you think is a sequence. Every perception you have is a then, now, next. You cannot experience a timeless universe. You can only imagine one. And that imagination, that act of projection, of stepping outside the laws and looking back at them, is one of the most remarkable things any arrangement of matter in this universe has ever managed. Come back slowly now. Let the stars dissolve. Let the frozen dark between worlds begin to warm, begin to move, begin to breathe again. Let the photons resume their journeys. Let the clock on your wrist tick one more time. You are back. Time is flowing, and nothing looks quite the same. Because here is what the thought experiment gave you, if you followed it all the way to the end. Space and time are not two things. They are one thing seen from two different angles. And consciousness, your awareness, this private light you carry inside you, is something that may be older and stranger than both of them. You live inside time the way a fish lives inside water. You cannot step outside it. You cannot see it from a distance. You can only occasionally, in rare and quiet moments, feel the shape of it pressing against you from every direction, and realize that you are not the one who made it. The universe made it, and the universe made you inside it. And you, somehow, improbably, beautifully, made it back here to think about that. There are entire cosmologies in the physics of what we explored tonight. The block universe, quantum observation, the space-time manifold, the thermodynamic arrow, the photons' timeless crossing. These are not metaphors. These are real structures, real physics, real mathematics. And at the edges of all of them, there is something that looks very much like consciousness peering back. The universe is asking a question it cannot answer without you. And the question is, what does it feel like to be here? You know the answer. You are living it right now, in this moment, which is the only moment there ever truly is. If this journey stayed with you, if the dark between worlds left something behind, there is another waiting just beyond this one. Subscribe and let the next thought find you. And if something in this universe of frozen time and timeless space stirred something in you, something you're still turning over in the quiet, leave it in the comments. Whoever is reading them will understand. Sleep well. The universe will still be here. It always is.